I am Ra, and we greet you in the love light of the one infinite Creator. There is only one Creator that is expressing in us all. Your planet is rapidly transforming to the distortions of the next density of transformation. This message is encoded with light codes. However, make sure that we do not infringe on your thoughts and free will. You need to use your free will when listening to our messages and accepting the truths that resonate. If they do not resonate, it must be left behind. Today, this instrument has placed the query regarding the term that your planet calls the Great Reset. We are going to share what we can at this moment about this query. However, we sense some negative self-service distortions in the mind complex of the ones who want to execute such reset on your planet. We are speaking more for the protection of your free will. In this context, the so-called World Economic Forum has presented a roadmap for what has been called the Great Reset by your kind. It is a plan that aims to take the current opportunity to shape an economic recovery and future direction of global relations, economies, and priorities with regards to your planets. According to this World Economic Forum, the planet must also adapt to the current reality by directing the market to fairer results. Ensure investments are aimed at mutual progress, including accelerating ecologically friendly investments, and to start a fourth density industrial revolution, creating digital economic and public infrastructure. One thing we can say at the outset is that this is a kind of starting phases of your fourth density consciousness. However, we must warn your kind not to fall for mind-made strategies in order to avoid the enslavement of mankind under the hands of a few so-called elite beings in your planets. This is not what the fourth density will look like. Many of your beings at present will use the power of mind complex to indirectly gain power and dominance over the planets. This is not what the fourth density will look like. There will be no upper class and lower class in a fourth density planet. There will be no one who will be in control of everything. As far as we can scan the planet using the vibrational frequencies, the Great Reset at the outset seems an innocent way to gain control over all the resources of the planet by these so-called elites. At present, the wealth of your planet is mostly controlled by a small group of people as we can sense it. This has made the inequality increase more and more. The motive of the Great Reset seems like it wants to change the planet and make your beings not own anything, and you will become happy. However, this may turn out wrong for your kind, and instead of transcending into the next density of consciousness, your kind may end up under the control of a few top elites if this happens. Just imagine you own nothing and everything is owned by the so-called government. In such cases, if some entities were to use their free will and criticize such governments, then such entities may be restricted from being a part of the government. At this stage, the entities on your planet that own a lot of these resources do not have the knowledge of what will happen in your planet if this happens. This will stop the basic of every soul that has incarnated on this planet, and that is free will of every soul to choose what they wish to do and their own paths of evolution. However, if this so-called Great Reset is established on your planet, then it may lead people to be put under control of a few so-called elites who may seem like good at the outset. However, this is not the proper way. These elites may remove any free will, causing a lot of damage to the planet and destroying the basic universal laws that need to be kept under sanctity and protected. Free will is above all. This is the main reason why the Confederation of Planets do not allow different entities to bypass the barrier of entry into Earth. Because we respect your free will and we know that free will must be maintained in your planet in order to allow the entities to evolve with their own use of free will. Many entities on your planet, not realizing the problems that may arise from this, have supported this proposal as an opportunity to wipe out the so-called debt in your terms. It all sounds nice to some of your entities until the reality emerges. For those who understand the monetary system that is relevant at the present time in your planet, that is, by deleting trillions of your government's debts, it would mean erasing trillions of citizen savings also. It is not a win-win situation as we can sense it. This idea is created by the wealthy elites to gain more control over the planet's happenings. This is not what we need to happen on your planet. If you want a more sustainable planet, you need sound policies and less government intervention. Free markets, not governments, will make this world better for all. Free will is so vital that even the entities from other planets that have tried to intrude on Earth were stopped by the Confederation. In order to preserve the sanctity of your planets and to maintain the free will of your people. This balancing exists from dimension to dimension and from density to density. The entities of your third density as your kind forms a part of are not able to properly discern the understanding required to recognize the distortions toward manipulation of free will. Meanwhile, a third density planet like yours has the free will and is not hindered from free choice. We are only presenting our insights on what this instrument has queried upon. The workings which seem magical and therefore seem to infringe upon free will do not in themselves do so, for the distortions of perception are as many as the witnesses and each witness sees what it desires to see. Infringement upon free will occurs in this circumstance only if the entity doing the working ascribes the authorship of this event to itself or its own skills. Those who state that no working comes from it but only through it is not infringing upon free will. Even we, as our kind, has been warned by the Confederation of Planets not to infringe upon free will that exists on your planet. And in order to keep the sanctity of this free will, we occasionally offer our insights through such channeling mechanism, as we see fit that it is the best means that we can share our insights without having much infringement upon the free will of your various beings. Provided that each entity who listens to our message will use its own discernment when accepting the information that we provide. Consider and remember that each galaxy and each solar system like yours has the primal distortion of free will in determining the paths of intelligent energy that promote the energies to allow the lessons of each of the different densities that are present in the planetary spheres that circumvent sun bodies. Every being in the cosmos must have reverence of the law of free will and observe it. Contact is made with only those who seek us and call upon us. Those upon your planet that have service to self in their mind are the so-called elites. However, not all are of these orientation at these times on your planet. While moving on the path of service to others, the free will distortion must be kept on the tip of the observation. These entities that are making a positive change on your planet are doing so while preserving the distortion of free will on your planet at this time. Therefore, we say, rejoice in the peace and free will that has been bestowed upon by the Creator on your planet. Go forth rejoicing in the love light of the one infinite Creator. You have free will, and we leave you now in the love of the one Creator.